Huge news, guys. World governments are buying Bitcoin. Blackrock confirmed it. CEO of Coinbase doubled down on it. And some of the industry's brightest minds are all noticing game theory 101 playing out in real time. Central banks and national treasuries are stacking billions, with Brazil, Russia, Japan, and more moving in right now. This much capital chasing a fixed supply is how a $10 million Bitcoin actually happens. And this momentum is only building. The SEC finally gave the green light to staking. Trump is forcing America's banks to open the doors to crypto. And the US pivots to become the crypto capital of the world. Wall Street whales, pension funds, and even national treasuries are fighting for every Satoshi they can get their hands on. You think big players are scared of this dip? Oh, no. They understand this is their last time to enter before the absolute floodgates open wide open. And the rest of the world will pile in all at once. Let me show you why I am so excited right now about what just happened and why right now might be the last time the average investor gets to front run the big giant whales. Because, guys, they're coming. If you're excited for today's episode, guys, if you love this channel, do me a favor, destroy that like button. Let's get into it. Yesterday, the SEC's Division of Corporate Finance released a statement that completely changed the game for staking in the United States. For the first time, they've officially clarified that certain liquid staking activities, specifically protocols that issue simple receipt tokens and operate without managerial control, do not count as securities offerings. So, Kyle, what does this even mean? It means protocols like Lido, Rocket Pool, and other decentralized liquid staking projects finally have the green light to operate at scale here in the United States. So if you're holding these staking receipt tokens, that's just a one-to-one representation of your staked assets. You're out of the SEC's crosshairs. The regulatory fog is gone. Suddenly, a tidal wave of new financial products just got unlocked, and on-chain yield is moving right to the center of the crypto conversation. And guys, let me know. I got this TV in here. I'm not sure if I love it or don't love it. Let me know if you like the vibes before the TV or with the TV. So I took that picture. For those of you guys who don't know, I think all of you don't know this, in 2015, 16, 17, I took up photography as a hobby. I really enjoy it. I enjoy doing landscape photography, and I enjoy doing astrophotography from like sunrise to sunset, the sunset to sunrise, this kind of stuff. Anyway, let me know, guys, in the comments below if you like the TV, if you prefer without it. I'm still trying to figure out this whole studio setup. So you guys get to give me your DAO governance votes on what we do with this setup behind me. So if you only read behind the lines and you ask yourself why they made this move now, think about it. What if this was the last big step needed to finally give the full green light for staking across the board? It's coming, folks. Remember, Blackrock applied and got approved for their ETH staking ETF. The numbers behind this are absolutely massive, and this will make more sense as we get into it. Liquid staking is already one of the biggest sectors in crypto, with more than $67 billion locked across protocols. Ethereum alone makes up $51 billion of that total. And this is just the beginning. Now with the SEC statement, the path now is much closer to being open for spot ETH ETFs to include staking, a feature asset managers have been waiting for. So much of TradFi still struggles with understanding why Bitcoin matters. But if there's one thing everyone in the world understands, it's yield. Of course, there's nothing set in stone yet, but this is the biggest first step we've seen so far. And let's put this in perspective for a second. Bitmain holds 833,000 ETH on its balance sheet with more than $3 billion worth, and they're all staked. Right now, with the staking rewards hovering around 3.5%, they're earning about 29,155 ETH per year, or 80 ETH per day. That's $110 million a year, and almost $300,000 a day they're making in yield, pure yield. SharpLink just hit 521,939 ETH. That's nearly $2 billion in staked Ethereum, and they're earning about 50 ETH a day, or about 18,500 a year. But what happens when the biggest players see this? And they already saw it. I mean, they're actually leading the way. But for example, BlackRock holds $9.5 billion in Ethereum today, about 2.6 million ETH. That could mean 91,000 ETH a year in staking rewards, or 250 ETH every single day. At only today's price, that works out to $330 million a year in revenue, or $900,000 a day, just for holding and staking. Imagine if Ethereum goes 3 to 4x from here, which I think it will. So you're talking about like $2.5 to $5 million a day BlackRock will probably be making by just staking ETH. And that's just yield. That's on top of the ETH price appreciation as well. And if you want proof that this is going mainstream, look at what's happening with institutional adoption. We're now seeing some of the first major US pension funds move into digital assets, right as staking becomes institutionally safe. The state of Michigan retirement system nearly tripled its Bitcoin ETF exposure to $11 million and now holds almost $10 million in the Grayscale Ethereum Trust. It's not just Wall Street or hedge funds anymore. Now it's pensions, government treasuries, and state-level funds all moving into digital assets. Guys, remember, I told you this before. These early allocators, guys like these Michigan State Fund that allocated last year, maybe they allocated, 1, 2, 3%. Now they've been in it for a year. And so now everyone's saying, wow, that was a really good year. Nothing happened, nothing broke, nothing got hacked. Let's allocate a little bit more because Bitcoin and Ethereum were our best performing assets of the whole portfolio. So they got a little taste. And this is not just Michigan State Pension. This is everyone. This is all the first year movers. Everyone in the Blackrock and other ETFs that allocated a little bit got a taste. And it was a good taste. It was the best taste they had in a long, long time. And so now they're going to double down. They're going to triple down. They're going to quadruple down. And this is what we talk about all the time is, are these ETF flows going to slow down, or are they only going to accelerate as people become more smart and more comfortable with allocating to these assets? Think about it. And guys, so yesterday my video got removed from YouTube. I don't know why. If you were one of the 13,000, 14,000 people who saw it, let me know in the comments below why you think it got removed. I have no idea. But in that video, we talked about Paid and what's happening over there. Paid is my project for you guys who don't know. And it's been quiet for a while because launches haven't been super popular. But one of the most exciting launches is happening. It's Blue Whale. Now, what I wanted to say, and actually, if you saw the video yesterday, this is also important because I missed it. But to give some perspective, let me just show you guys something. Okay, guys, what we're looking at here is the staking tiers for Paid. Now, what is rolling out with Blue Whale? Blue Whale, and first of all, if you guys don't know, Blue Whale is a phenomenal company, right? And as you guys who've been following me for a while, I used to have this pinned on my X account of these LCOs. What is that? Well, basically, I'm trying to work with founders who want community, guys like you guys, to have a special opportunity to get into some of these amazing companies at discounts with long-term alignment. So you guys believe in these things and you hope that this is going to be something like similar to what I did with my investments back in the day, all the way back in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and Coinbase and Kraken and Circle, these other ones, right? And so Blue Whale, their last round, they raised at $100 million valuation. It was from SBI, the big, we'll talk about SBI later in the show today, but biggest Japanese bank, Sui Foundation, Decima, etc., have invested in Blue Whale. And the last round was $100 million. This is a $30 million valuation, and you're getting equity plus tokens at $30 million valuation. Phenomenal deal. So make sure that you guys go and register your interest because you have to register, and that is open right now to go register. All you do is log in and say how much you want to invest, and then there'll be a follow-up email that tells you exactly, guys, how to proceed. This is different than what Paid has done before. This is an SPV structure, which means a special purpose vehicle. And yes, US accredited investors are allowed to participate along with the rest of the world. And I'm working, guys, on retail Americans, but not quite yet. What I want to show you guys is this, right? And so if we look over here at this thing, okay, so these SPVs, how do they work? You're getting equity, and normally in fund structures and other fundraising platforms like Echo and Legion, for example, they're going to take some percent, it's called a carry fee or a success fee, right? And that is basically, if let's say you put $1,000 in and it does a 10x, right? And it turns into $10,000. Well, you've made $9,000 of profit, and the protocols, or this is how funds work too. All funds work like this. They have got like a 2 and 20 fund structure where they take 20 or 30% of your profits for them doing the work, right? But with Paid, this is just the first deal of many. There's a lot more phenomenal deals. Paid is turning into an investment platform for not just tokens, but equity and amazing companies around the world. And what I think is super fascinating right now is because the price of Paid is so low, to get into the top tier where you're going to get like the biggest allocations, but most importantly, as long as you have 375,000 Paid tokens, you will never pay fees as long as you stake those, right? And so right now, at the current price of Paid, to get 375,000 Paid tokens is $7,619. Now, Paid all-time high was at $6, but even if it goes back to $1, you're talking about this tier costing $375,000. Right now, you can get into this tier for $7,600, right? Or let's say that you don't want to do that, but you want to get something really good fees moving forward. You know, you believe in this and you just want to lock in Paid tokens, stake them. I mean, you can reduce if you don't stake any Paid tokens, it's a 20% protocol fee. This is the gold standard in the industry, right? But if you stake some Paid tokens, align long-term, then you're going to have these reduction in protocol fees. So for example, right now, if you want to get, half of that, 150,000, well, almost half of it, that's, you're only looking at like $3,000 to get guaranteed low 2.5% fees in perpetuity for the rest of your life, as long as these deals are on the platform. So anyway, I wanted to share that, guys. And, we're going to start getting this word around. So, this is another great use case for the Paid token and should bring in some pretty good demand as these deals continue to pick up. So, and if you guys want more information on Blue Whale, just go to paidnetwork.com, check out the Blue Whale deal. All the deal terms are here. Tells you the investors, the business model, so you can go do your own due diligence. Go check it out, guys. Okay, now let's switch gears and talk about one of crypto's biggest wins, a victory that's been over a decade in the making. Ever since the early days, the banking system has been tough on crypto companies and crypto participants like me, and even individual investors. Since late 2022, right after the FTX collapse, major exchanges like Coinbase, payment platforms such as Strike, and leading stablecoin issuers, including Circle, have reported losing access to banking. I've been banned by so many banks and Western Union and everything else, and even some publicly traded firms have spent months scrambling just to keep the most basic payment systems and channels open, shifting accounts and searching for new banking partners again and again. Finally, those days are over. And thanks to recent lawsuits and congressional testimony, it's clear that the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and other agencies directly pressured banks to pause crypto activities. In one high-profile case, Coinbase's chief legal officer testified that the FDIC bludgeoned the banks with constant exams and questions about stablecoins and digital assets until many banks simply just shut down crypto accounts to avoid regulatory headaches. That was me. That was the thing I dealt with all the time. And it's been so hard for crypto companies also to get bank accounts until now. Now they have to give you a bank account. It's executive order by the chief commanding officer of the United States. The impact has been huge. Between Q1 2023 and mid-2025, bank de-risking led to a wave of crypto businesses moving offshore, cutting US access to certain products and slowing down innovation at home. Some estimates show that during the worst months, over $1 billion in monthly exchange volume left the United States, and hundreds of crypto startup banking applications were rejected and left in limbo. That's what makes this announcement so historic. President Trump's new executive order directs regulators to launch a full-scale investigation into every crypto and political debanking claim, clean up any internal policies that led to account closures, and refer violations directly to the Department of Justice. For the banking industry, this marks a total reversal. The order also calls for Small Business Administration to review its lending program, which could make it easier for crypto startups to qualify for government-backed business loans. I don't really care about the debanking. I mean, it's a nice thing, right? But the whole point of crypto is to debank anyway. But I think this small business loan thing is pretty cool, right? It gives a chance for crypto startups in America to actually get a business loan from the government, which in some cases is exactly what these companies need. They can get a loan without having to give up their equity to VCs, and now they can do something more like a fair launch by getting a loan from the government, which is really cool. With the Federal Reserve and the FDIC already starting to pull back on reputational risk exams, banks are now incentivized to serve crypto companies and move forward with innovation. What I can say, though, about all of this stuff is it's very, very surreal. Being someone who has struggled so much for so long with these different companies like banks and Western Union and stuff, shutting me down, banning me from their systems because I was using crypto, to now a full 180 from the top down, from Trump to DC to banks, the Fed, everything like that is absolutely surreal. And that's why I'm back in America. So now let's take a step back and look at what's really happening to the market right now, because the pace of crypto adoption is accelerating in ways nobody can ignore. Right now, Wall Street is sending a clear message. The big players aren't waiting around. Bullish, a Peter Thiel-backed crypto platform, is filing for a $629 million IPO valued at $4.2 billion, with JP Morgan and Jefferies leading the deal. If you guys don't know who Jefferies is, it's one of Wall Street's most respected investment banks, known for bringing high-growth companies to the public markets and building confidence with institutional investors. Other giants are stepping in too. Kraken is targeting a $15 billion public listing for 2026. That will be my third equity investment to go public since I've been making equity investments. Circle, Coinbase, Kraken, Ripple will probably go public this year, next year as well. And again, just real quick, this is why, I'm not shilling paid to shill paid to you guys. I'm telling you that I've invested in Blue Whale and I think it's an amazing opportunity. Oh, just real quick. I invested, by the way, I think it was like a year and a half ago at a $60 million valuation. The last round was $100 million. And the opportunity being offered to you guys is at $30 million. And they are also going to be listed on tier 1 exchanges as well. Also, we've got Grayscale, one of the world's largest digital asset managers. They've been making moves toward a potential IPO as well, building out its structure to fit the demand of public investors and mainstream finance. If you look back at how explosive crypto IPOs can be, Circle's listing sent its shares up over 700% in a matter of days. That kind of market reaction we could possibly see again as this new wave of companies goes public. But America isn't the only place where the action is heating up. You got over in Asia, Japan's largest bank, remember I said we'd come back to this, SBI Holdings, which also invested in Blue Whale, just filed for 2 brand new crypto ETFs, one holding both Bitcoin and XRP, another one blending gold with crypto assets. In Brazil, the House of Representatives is holding a hearing on a new bill that could allow up to 5% of the country's $300 billion in reserves. So we're talking about $15 billion to be invested directly into Bitcoin. This is a major move for top emerging market. Over in Indonesia, where I'll be soon, the vice president's office is publicly considering adding Bitcoin to its country's national reserves, which would be a first for any large Southeast Asian economy. Over in Kazakhstan, where Borat's from, is building a strategic Bitcoin reserve using seized coins from the government. If you remember back in May, Pakistan also announced plans to establish their own Bitcoin strategic reserve. And just last week, they allowed banks to buy and sell Bitcoin to accelerate the adoption in the country. Are you guys paying attention? Do you understand what's happening here? All these countries all over the world are building the Bitcoin standard, integrating into every fabric of the society. And just when you thought the headlines couldn't get any wilder, you got Russia. Their central bank is now considering approving Bitcoin for its mutual fund market. They even reported Bitcoin as a top performing asset of 2025. Okay, so they're acknowledging that. Russia has had this kind of love-hate relationship with crypto. Like, they love to use it to bring their money, to remove capital controls in the country. But Russia at the top likes capital controls and doesn't want to give that freedom to the people. So it's again, we're starting to, we're going to see this, first they laugh at you, then they fight you, then they join you, and then you win, right? This is the path that Bitcoin takes every single time without fail. It's just a matter of time. And you better believe that if anyone doesn't jump on the Bitcoin bandwagon, sooner than later, they're going to be left behind like crazy. You got Ghana now gearing up to officially license and regulate crypto platforms also, with a full regulatory framework set to be sent to Parliament in September. The list, guys, goes on and on. Nations and even their central banks are waking up to Bitcoin and getting orange-pilled. And if I haven't made it obvious enough already, just listen to what Jay Jacobs, the head of US equity ETFs from Blackrock, had to say.
Well, if you look at a few things, one is if you look at central banks around the world, a continued movement towards diversification beyond just holding dollars is something that's been happening for decades. So the switch from just holding dollars to holding gold to looking at other types of assets like Bitcoin is a trend that's been years in the making.
You hear that? Even central banks and top authorities within the banking system and the ones in control of the money itself are starting to wake up to Bitcoin. And it's all because now there's less trust between countries and even less trust in each other's currencies. You've also got Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase. They also just mentioned he believes the rest of the G20 nations and central banks are considering Bitcoin. Check this out.
By the way, now that the US is doing this, I think the rest of the G20 countries and central banks are all starting to look at this. It just kind of instantly legitimized it. And, President Trump, to his credit, he said he wants to be the first crypto president in the United States and certainly in the world. Like he's all in on this. He's like, America has to lead here. This is a technology to update the financial system and become a financial center of the world, which is important for American power. So he's kind of gone all in on it. And I think the rest of the G20 are now looking at this as a model to follow.
As of today, the leaderboard in government Bitcoin holdings puts the United States at the top, followed by China, United Kingdom, Ukraine, Bhutan, and El Salvador. And that list is growing, with more countries joining the race every month. We're witnessing a genuine nation-state push to stack as much Bitcoin as possible before the sudden supply crunch hits, and it's coming. And that number is likely to increase day by day with all of these friendly regulations, especially now that the US is finally setting the example. This always happens. The US usually comes in. I mean, you got a few small movers that happen before the United States, right? And then the United States comes in, sets policy, and now the United States is full-blown America, the crypto capital of the world, right? And so the question that is often asked is like, how does Bitcoin go so much higher? Well, this is it, guys. It is when everyone starts accumulating. Because you watch this channel often, you're often so far ahead of the herd. I mean, so far ahead of the herd. We talk about on this channel all the time. As soon as something happens, boom, you guys get the news, right? But you're the first ones to hear about it. Your grandma didn't hear about it. Your mom didn't hear about it. The news didn't hear about it. Your friends didn't hear about it. You guys heard about it first, right? So because you and I are so in the know, we can see so far down the road of what's happening. I'm telling you guys, this is happening, right? And probably in a year or two, that list of countries is going to grow exponentially, right? In 5 years and 10 years, everyone will have Bitcoin. Meanwhile, Ethereum's momentum is breaking records also. This week, the entire Ethereum ecosystem across the main network and its L2s hit a new all-time high, processing over 26 million transactions in a single day. In just the past month, the Ethereum Foundation highlighted 24 new launches and upgrades, including Robinhood going on-chain with Arbitrum and the launch of Base Pay and the Base app. These are the kinds of upgrades that could bring millions of new users into the Ethereum ecosystem. Guys, this is why we make these videos. It's days like this that get me so fired up, because despite the price being down a little bit right now, you know what's happening, right? You know what's happening. So this should give you all the confidence to not get shaken out and emotional when the price dips a little bit. If anything, if you got dry powder sitting on the sideline, buy a little bit more. Not financial advice, but you know what I mean. And before we get on to some more news, guys, just a quick word from our channel sponsors. Back in 2015, I convinced my mom to move her retirement account into Bitcoin. At the time, she had to do some complicated steps using Fidelity. But now we've got Bitcoin IRA. And I'll tell you, my mom turned $50,000 into multi-millions of dollars by doing that. And that is still possible for you guys. We didn't have Bitcoin IRA at the time, or certainly I didn't know about it, but now you do, and it makes that process so much easier with just a couple clicks. Most people don't realize you can put your Bitcoin and altcoins into your IRA and let it grow completely tax-free. Bitcoin IRA is America's first and most trusted crypto retirement platform, secure, fully regulated, and used by over 200,000 people. Rolling over your old 401k or IRA takes just a few clicks. If you want to keep more of your gains and let your coins work for you, not Uncle Sam, get started today, guys. You also don't have to have a retirement account, guys. If you just want to accumulate and stack crypto in a tax-efficient way, also check them out. Click the link below, guys. Let them know Kyle sent you over there, and you can get up to $1,000 in rewards. And are you looking for an exchange that gives you access to everything in today's markets? With Kraken, you can trade over 11,000 assets. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tesla, Apple, MicroStrategy, everything, right? Or the next big IPO that comes out. They're all right here in Kraken. And that's why I'm proud to partner up with them. Since 2011, Kraken has been trusted by millions worldwide, leading the industry with proof of reserves, advanced encryption, 24/7 support that actually answers, and they've never been hacked. Like that's one of the most significant things almost no other exchange can say. So guys, if you're looking for a phenomenal exchange, sign up with Kraken using my link below. Trade crypto, stocks, ETFs, instantly, securely, all one place. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. All right, now back to the video. So now let's tie everything together. We led today's show with the SEC's historic pivot on staking, a move that unlocks on-chain yield and brings a tidal wave of new products and capital into the space. We covered how Trump's White House is forcing the banking system to open up to crypto, and how Wall Street and global governments are piling in, and how all this momentum and signals point in the same direction, up. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but if you're patient and you got your eyes set on the big picture, you know where we're heading. So despite whatever you're seeing in the chart, the price chart, it's clearer than ever that crypto is getting pushed like never before. With the support of the world's top regulators, institutional investors, major corporations, retailers, etc., and also a wave of new users coming in from every angle, literally. This is the foundation for the next phase of global finance, and it's being built right in front of us. And one more thing too, guys, if you were one of the 13,000 people who saw the video before it got pulled off yesterday, you know that I told you the reason why the markets were going down. And I'll show you guys right now too. So yesterday, guys, the question is like, why are we seeing these outflows? Just yesterday, $200 million out, $300 million the day before, 800 before, 115 from the Bitcoin flows. And Ethereum, we got a positive day because Ethereum is just so hot right now. It's so hot right now. But the reason is there's no conspiracy theory, no tinfoil hat. It simply comes down to the hedge funds playing the CME premium future basis trade. We've talked about it on the show many times before, but it's also obvious. If you guys want to know how to check it out, go to velo.xyz/tradfi. So this is why the ETF saw outflows, because this is the premium carry trade for Bitcoin right now. And if basically big, huge hedge funds who manage billions and billions of dollars, they look for a risk-free rate where they can earn yield on their billions that they manage. And one of the best ways to do that is either short-term treasuries that are paying like 5%, 5.5%, or they can come and get a little bit more yield by buying Bitcoin or Ethereum spot and shorting the futures. That gives them a spread. This is a little bit technical. It doesn't matter. But the point is that as long as this is like above 7%, it's appealing. Right? And as long as it's above 7%, the carry trade is in play, and it's likely that these hedge funds are accumulating. Now, they don't care about making money. They don't care about the price of Bitcoin. That's not how this trade works. But when this number starts to drop down, and like it did all the way down here for 2 days going below 7%, this is when we started to see it. It started to rapidly drop here. So now we're starting to see it come back up again today. This is a profitable place, 7.6. Will it continue? I don't know. We'll watch it over the next few days. But my guess is that we're going to see positive momentum over the next few days in the market. Even though we've seen this dip, I think that we're going to start to see, I think that this selling pressure from these carry trade is probably over. So guys, that's why the market is taking a correction, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me or you think it's something else massive. I don't know. If you guys found value in today's show, make sure you guys do me a favor, destroy that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a critical update. And remember, guys, stay very sharp. Remember to stack your sats and some ETH, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya. Oh, and let me know about the TV. Should I keep it? Should I not keep it? What should I put on there back there? Right now, I'm just kind of planning on, because I tried doing the charts and the things that show like if we're at the top or not. And because we have this background blur, it didn't really come in. So like, I'm just thinking about putting in different pictures that I've taken over the years because I'm showcasing my personality, my art. Let me know, guys. If not, I'm just going to put this in another room and do something else in the background here. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.